All right. So starting the recording. Yeah. So is the hand raised or is it by mistake?
You can start recording now.
Yes. So I'm going to explain some of the things in brief, so I could cover. And I think, yeah, there's, I think few students actually follow the video as well. They registered and they said. So I'll be explaining a little more. But yeah, what's the question? Oh, so you have hand raised. I think you can click that, and then it should, drop the hands. Guys, so I just realized that I did not record all this. Yeah.
So after the RDP selection, you download the desktop file, remote desktop file, right?
Yes.
What is this file? Your key key pair?
So remote desktop file is separate, key pair is separate, and remote desktop file downloads, you know, um, the RDP file that helps us connect to the Windows machine. Key pair reveals the password of the administrator account without which we cannot log into that machine. So connection to the machine, remote connection to the machine, desktop file. Prepare if you want to reveal the password of administrator, otherwise you can't log in. Those are the two files that we downloaded.
You repeat this section from RDP to log into the EC2.
RDP to EC2. Okay. I can create a new machine, but that's gonna be a full lab. So that's what we were doing all this time. Um, so okay. Okay. So I'll be repeating some of it, but also, David has a question there that if the private key is gone, then what happens? So, if the private key is gone, then you have to generate another one. Yes, it can be generated, but before it was like that, that if you lost the private key, then you cannot really, then if you have saved this password, then it will still log in. But if private key file is lost and the password has not been retrieved, then yes, it before it used to not generate, but now it does. We can regenerate that too. So, but it has to be regenerated and then attached. So there's a longer process to do that. But yes, it can be generated.
So first you download the remote desktop file and then
Yeah. So yeah. So first we
stepwise.
download the remote desktop file,
Okay.
and then and now I cannot even say that it's all recorded, so you can follow the video. Because I forgot to start the recording. Guys, so next class, please do remind me as well. I'm growing very old now, so I forget. That was intentional cough. So yeah, when we download the remote desktop, it is downloaded in the downloads folder. Then you have to get password. You can share your screen and I can show you all this, but I hope it doesn't take a very long time. Want to share the screen here?
I,
Or
yeah,
are
but
you following the whole lab or?
no,
Oh, okay.
I'm just watching. Yeah, I'm not doing anything.
Okay. So then, yeah, you know what? Because I cannot show that now. That's what I was saying, that I can switch to somebody else's screen. I wasn't done it because once you click that get password here, so it asks for where's the file that we downloaded for key pair. So I give the path of the file, then it revealed this password. So now this file was already downloaded. For this, there's a get password written there. So I click that get password, and then it asked where's the local file. So the file was file is here. This one. It's in the downloads folder. So I gave the path of this file. Then it revealed the password to me. And this remote desktop file is when I download it, it's also in the downloads folder automatically. So when I double click that, then this screen comes. This is just the remote desktop connection. I simply say click connect. Then it is supposed to ask for a password. Where's the password? So I already revealed the password next to this file, PM file, right? So I copy that password from here, password copied, it says here. And where's the remote desktop? This is the remote desktop that I double clicked. And I put the password, right? This is the password. And then I press OK, and that's it. It again asks for that self-signed certificate. I just simply press yes, because we don't need to provide a security. So it just says here that since I'm connecting again, so it gave me that message that you're disconnected. So this is how we connect to the machine. Pretty straightforward. Connecting to Windows instances. So Terence has private. Terence, you can select everyone, and then everyone can see that message as well. I'm just gonna click that and connect. So Terence has shown the steps for connecting the virtual machine. I'll just show that here. It's good that you all attended the class, because the first half did not even get recorded. So I will try to create one quick video of how to create an EC2 instance. Although we discussed all the features. Also, this is thank you, Terence. Terence has shared that URL where it shows step by step what you can do, right? And then the remote desktop, and so this is, I'm just gonna put it here as well, not here. Now it is recording, but we have created already a virtual machine, guys. So I'll be then creating another video if needed to how to create an EC2 instance, but we discussed a lot. So yeah, attending the class would be obviously beneficial that you have seen that discussion, but please do remind me if in case I forget to start recording. How to connect to AWS
Create a quick EC2.
instance.
Like
Yeah,
like 1031.
after the class, I will do that.
Okay.
Record how to create. Now, instance is created, and so it will be a full repetition then of everything. So that's why. Oh, guys, one more thing is that so we're gonna have this class on Tuesday as well. But next Saturday I'm out of town, so morning class also I asked them if we can connect. So I'm connecting for them this Wednesday evening as well. So Tuesday evening we already have two classes. So yeah, so we're gonna be connecting on the Wednesday, but this Saturday I have to go out of town, so I won't be available. But then the next Tuesday we're gonna connect again, and obviously also I'll be creating an extra video for how to create an instance. Or if you want, you can create the new instance. Okay, guys. So what I'm gonna make it a bit quick. We have discussed many of those concepts there. So I wanted to do this introduction at the start of the video. We were talking our other topics. So those who will join this video later, they will say, "Oh, what's going on here? Isn't that okay?" So I'm just stuck with this. I'll create separately this video now that this video we have already started another topic. Guys, now logged in, once we have logged in, so until how it is created, I'll create a separate, but once we have logged in, so it looks like, um, so you can see all the information here, availability zone, T2 micro, so they have this script already showing the configuration of the virtual machine. And this is just a full Flash Windows 2022, obviously. So I'm just gonna click the restore down button here. Um, so now virtual machine is created, right? So I'm just gonna click cancel. This is how the virtual machine is showing. And if you select here, then you can see that for any number of virtual machines that you create here, for each virtual machine, there's a lot of information. Instance ID, public IPv4 address, private IPv4 address, and then host name, and then there is auto assign IP address, VPC. So all the information, any kind of information that you want to see is here. Other than also there's security. So in the security, you can go to the security group, and suppose after creation of virtual machine, you want someone to connect some other type of port. So suppose other type of traffic like 443 or um, like port 80 traffic, HTTPS, HTTP traffic you want to allow, so you can still go to the security group, and then you can add more uh, type of ports here from specific IP addresses. Well, so you can make changes after a machine is created as well. If I go up, then there is networking. So in the networking, there is, you can now check network connectivity with reachability analyzer. So run reachability analyzer, which means that that are you able to reach the machine basically? Not. So it's sitting inside VPC this, and in a specific subnet. So pretty much all the network configuration is showing here with private IP address as well, public IP address and private IP address. Um, so other than that, we have storage, and in the storage, so I'm just going to drag this up a little so we can see more area of that. So in the storage, it shows the storage as like a Linux virtual machine, and then there is EBS or the elastic block storage or the disk. There's 30 GB disk here already attached. Now, suppose you want to attach another network card, or suppose you want to attach another disk. What do you do? Like this virtual machine, there's a storage here, and um, so there is also this button here for editing. But suppose we want to add another network card. So first of all, if I go to network cards, there is one network card with public IP, right? And in this net, so the boss says, "Hey, why don't you add another network card there for nick teaming?" Nick team means that that two network cards can work together. Um, so I'm going to go for clicking this details pane position. Oh, this is just a detailed pane position, but this is not. So this virtual machine is started right now. Can we add another network card in the started virtual machine? And if I just click this down arrow, then there's network interfaces showing here. I want to add another network interface, but I don't see anything here. But if I go way up there to actions, so there's a click here, and yeah, there's a lot of things we can do here. Oh, there's another link from Terrace, and that shows Connecting to Windows. Oh, okay. So that's the same one, but for everyone. So connect, then view details, manage instance state, and instance settings. So you want to change some settings here. We were talking about credit card. I was going to say credit card. Seriously. So instance settings does not show that. We go to networking here. So it says attach network interface. I want to attach another network interface, suppose. So can I do that with a virtual machine or EC2 instance still powered on, or um, no, or can't? So I'm just going to click that attach network interface, and I'll try to see that if with the powered on instance, can it be attached, or do we have to shut down the instance and then attach it? Just going to click attach network interface. It opens another page, and network interface card. So select network interface card. It says that there is none. Select a network interface card to attach to the instance. So you can create and configure network interface card. It says here. Normally, what happens is that you have to shut down the machine um, and then do that. Create another network. So it does not say attach, and it says that hey, where is the network card to attach? So it means that attach is not the option to create and attach a new network card. So I'm just going to cancel out from here and go back here and go to networking. Now, nothing is showing here because networking related changes you can only make to a shutdown EC2 instance, not a powered on. So I'm just going to select this. So I am actually connected to this. So this is the remote desktop console. This is there, right? I'll maximize it. Then I'll go right click down here and shut down that instance, right? I'm going to shut down that instance. Continue. So it's supposed to shut down the operating system, but did it shut down the virtual machine as well? I'm going to go to the instance state here. It says stop instance, right? So inside operating system may be shut down, but the outside virtual machine is still showing that it's using services unless it is told to shut down as well. So I'm just going to click stop instance and stop. This also shuts down automatically the operating system, and obviously it stops using the services of AWS. So it says successfully stopped. Once it is successfully stopped and it says here stopped, then I'm going to go to the networking again. All those options are again enabled. So attach network interface. I'm able to do that now. So it should be creating a new network interface and then attaching it if attach supports that. So I'm just going to click that. So instance ID is this, and network interface found. So you have to create a network interface still and then attach it. So if you and it says attach here. So obviously I have to go for network interface separately, create it somewhere, and then it will appear here. So we can attach. So I'm just going to cancel out again from here. And then check out that where do I, so there's a lot of options here on the left side. Where do I create a network interface card? So if I go there, you can see in network security, there's network interfaces. So a network card that you can attach, it's on the left side, and then for the network security. Now, if you go there, there's already one network interface card created, and that's the only one we have because we have one virtual machine only showing here, Elastic Network Interface. So that's the network interface we already have. Network interface ID is there. 1C3B2. If I go up there to the instance, this is the instance, and if I go for networking, so the last one is 1C3B2 exactly. So that's the network interface card that we are seeing down here. 1C3B2. I'm going to create another one. Create network interface. Uh, okay, so the hand is still raised, is it? I think your hand will be tired, Raza. So, is it a question or is it by mistake? So, network interface, I'm going to be uh, giving a description. Second, Nick for Amir VM01. We can just be a bit more descriptive. And the subnet in which to create the network interface card. So remember that I created in 1A subnet, right? So this is a 1A subnet, and then private IP address, IPv4 address, auto assign, elastic fabric adapter. So if you want fast data transfers and you want actually a fiber optic cable in the background to be deployed and made available for this, so this is a pretty cool thing that you can actually put fiber optic cable here as well, right? And then, so what I'm essentially doing is the virtual machine. One network card is already there, right? So I'm trying to add another network card just to show that how to add the network card. Second thing is they can be nick teamed as well. Nick teaming is a term used for network interface cards team together. So what do they do? Obviously, they are receiving data and sending data, right? To the machine and from the machine. So that data is received by one network card. So how about if we add another network card so they can team together and then whatever data is being received, suppose there are thousands of users who are sending the data, so that's huge data and it was overwhelming for one network card and it was slowing down the whole network card processing. So you added another network card and then the data that is incoming or outgoing is actually handled or divided among the two network cards, right? So then it's not overwhelmingly one network card receiving data and sending data. The data is divided among two network cards. You can actually add four network cards, eight network cards, nine network cards, 10 network cards, and they will all share, distribute data among themselves. So data will go fast. And also, if one network card has issue, then the other network card still will keep the data coming and going. Right? So that's why network card is always a good idea on a critical machine that where data should be always, right? So if I go back, remember that we created a virtual machine in 1A. I am creating another network card and I want to attach this network card to that virtual machine. So that virtual machine I know is in 1A availability zone or subnet. I'm just going to click that 1A availability zone because I want to attach this network card to the virtual machine EC2 instance that is in also 1A availability zone. I also want it to be assigned automatically an IP address, so that's okay. I want fiber optic given to it. If I click the advanced settings here, then you can optionally set the IP prefix delegation, which IP range you want, 10.0.0 or 192.168 or 172.16 or some public IP. So like auto assign will give the IPv4 IP range to the network card, which is okay. So prefixes you decide the first octets. You need to decide that. Security groups, which security groups it should be attached to. Remember that we created a security group and I gave that name as well. That security group or firewall allows 3389 traffic to go to this machine. And because of that 3389 port open, I'm able to connect with that remote desktop. Right now it's shut down. I want this network card to be connected to the security group that is connected to the EC2 instance or virtual machine. So if I go there, to suppose this is a virtual machine, so there's a SG or security group or firewall that is already attached to it. And one network card, NIC, right, is already attached to this security group because security group is disallowing the traffic, right? So when it allows 3389 RDP traffic that helps us connect remotely to Windows, so then it allows and then it goes to the network card and to the operating system. So obviously the network card has to be attached to the security group or the firewall. So first we check that what this firewall or security group is allowing, and then network card will allow. So when you're attaching a second network card here, NIC2, so obviously it needs to be also attached to the security group. That's why if I go back here, it's saying that, hey, which security group are you attaching second NIC for Amir VM01 second network card? So I'm saying I'm attaching it to the same security group which is attached to that only virtual machine that we have. Right? And then tags you want to add who's the manager, what's the project name or department for it is for. It's always good to add that information. I'm going to go for create network interface. Now that separate network interface has been created. I know from 1C3B2 there, so I want to give it a name. This is the first network card that is already connected to that virtual machine. So if I click this, so it's the first NIC of VM01. Right? So just to when we see here that we just want to then identify as well. So I know that the second network card I'm creating, I will be attaching to the virtual machine. So I'm adding that name here as well. And it will be second NIC of Armor VM01, that virtual machine. So now from here, I can identify by giving manually the name at which virtual machine I'm connecting to. So once this network card is created, now if I go back up, I need to attach it. Remember that it was asking for attaching? To go to the instance, which is already shut down, and then in the networking, in fact, I need to go here on the action. So it's selected, actions, networking, and then attach. Now I have a network card, a spare one, to attach. I'm going to click attach network card, and it should be showing here is second NIC or this virtual machine. So once I attach it, now the attach button is also open. ENA Express, the selected instance type does not support ENA Express. Enable ENA Express to increase the maximum bandwidth used per stream and minimize tail latency of network traffic between EC2 instances. So it just simply boosts the bandwidth so more data pass between the two instances. But yeah, this is very thick instance with a very low hardware. So that's why we cannot do that. We cannot use ENA. So I'm just going to click attach. Now this machine has two network cards. So I'm going to select that, go to networking, and yes, it has two network interfaces or two network cards now. And the second network card also got a private IP address. So two network cards are there. We're gonna power on the machine. We're gonna check it out. But how about we add an extra disk as well? So if I go to the diagram, so two network cards added, right? But how about if we want to add? So one disk is already there, which has an operating system already installed here, OS. What about if we want to have a second disk that should have data? So basically, how to add a second disk? That's what I'm saying. Now, for the second disk to be added to the EC2 instance, we will have to go back to this. Now, machine is selected. It is still stopped. Although when you add disk is okay. I mean, even with the machine started, the disk can be added. But anyway, we can confirm that now. In fact, it's a good idea. Network cards added. I'm going to launch the instance now. And oh, not launch, like not starting a new instance or creating a new instance. I'm just going for actions, instance state, and start instance, right? Instance state offers stop instance, start instance, reboot instance, hibernate instance, and terminate instance. So at the end of the class, we're going to terminate it. Okay. I'm going to click starting. Before start, I remember one more thing, and that is, will this network card delete when the instance gets deleted? Did I configure that? Was that option even shown there? So if I go back to the network and security and go for network interface here, and I go for that's a second NIC, was there any option that mentioned that delete this with the virtual machine? I didn't see that option when we were going through the options. I don't see those options. Delete on termination false. Oh, there it is. It's on false. I need it to be true because if I delete the virtual machine, then I have to come back manually here, delete the network interface cards as well. I don't want that. I want it to be deleted automatically. So how do I do that? I have selected the card. I can go to actions. Delete manage IP address, associate address, disassociate address, change termination behavior, change termination behavior. This is it. Termination means delete. So I need to enable it. Delete on instance termination. So whichever instance it is connected to, and that instance is deleted, delete this network card. So save. Now it seems to be okay. I'm gonna go up and start this instance, right? To go up here, I need to, it is already stopped. So I'm just gonna click the instance state and start instance. Now I can easily start. Now I could have hit the disk already, but instead I wanted to check. It used to let me add the disk even if the machine is started. So unless they have removed that feature now, this is also called hot add. So hot add means machine is started and you are adding some component to it. So that hot add functionality should be enabled, and I should be able to add a disk while the machine is started. Otherwise, it will just give me an error that no, shut down the machine and then we will know that. So machine is started, but I still need to add the disk. So how do I do that? I go to actions. Does it have any kind of option there? So first of all, no, this is the machine, right? And this is this machine's properties. So I was in networking. Now I'm going to go to storage. In the storage, I see there's one disk here. I don't see any plus sign here to create a disk. Go to block devices. That's where I'm supposed to, put the, this is where I'm supposed to see the other device. But I don't see a plus sign here to add a new device. So this means that again, I have to go up here, actions, and manage instance state, instance settings. Does it go for storage or EBS? Not here. If I networking will not have EBS, obviously. Security, insecurity groups, get Windows password, get Windows password, right? So image templates, create image, create template from instance, and monitor and troubleshoot. Ooh. The key thing, I mean, um, hey, I want to add another disk, and is there no option here? That's not possible. Yep. So just like the networking, I need to go down here on this area, right? This area. And I'm going to go for volumes, right? Um, I'm going to create a separate volume here. Remember that this instance is in US East 1A. So how about we actually test it? Guess what? How about if I create this extra disk or volume in US East 1B, and then I try to attach that volume to a virtual machine that is in US East 1A. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to go for volumes. The boss says that, hey, I need another disk here attached here. One disk is already there showing that virtual machine 30 GB. So I'm going to click create volume, right? And it's also GP2. I don't want it to be 100 GB. I just want it to be very less, be 8 GB. And whatever IOPS are needed, you can just choose that, but you can also choose from all that. Suppose I go for the cheapest one, magnetic standard. So IOPS are not even applicable. So like it's so slow. It's not gonna really give you read and write speed there. So throughput optimized again, no IOPS here because it's still HDD slow. But some data can be sent there. The cold HDD also it's pretty slow. Whenever it is HDD, not much is. We're not expecting speed. When it is IOPS SSD, then you can go for 500 GB, IOPS 3000. It can go up to 256,000 IOPS max, right? Up to 1000 IOPS per GB. So IOPS is again in read write, read write, read write, read write. And but I'm gonna go for the cheapest one, magnetic standard, because it's just a test lab. So any kind of disk is okay. Second thing is I'm creating it in US East 1B. So am I able to connect that? Now, if they support that, that's another thing. Otherwise, what I know till now is that if you create another availability zone for another region, it's confirmed that it's not going to connect. But in another availability zone, can connect it to the operating system or not. So we're just checking that. Also, how to attach another disk, basically. US East 1B snapshot ID. I don't want to take a snapshot, but snapshot is just a point in time backup and in time backup state of that disk. Encryption, you want to encrypt this disk. So second disk, yes, it supports encrypt and shun. Uh, but it says that, hey, you want to create a key here, a KMS key. KMS is key management system. KMS is key management system. So what does that mean? It will save the encryption key that helps to encrypt the data of the disk. And decryption key also it has. So suppose you want to double click and open a file. First, that file has to be decrypted. It will grab that key from here, KMS. KMS is the storage area where encryption and decryption keys are stored. When you double click a file, it encrypted file, so it needs to be decrypted for you to read it. Otherwise, it is unreadable. So when you decrypt it, you need a decryption key. So the decryption key is so KMS is contacted. Hey KMS, you have decryption key for the second disk for that EC2 instance. Because we're save if we save here, obviously it will have it. So then decryption key will be grabbed from the KMS, and then the file will be decrypted, and then you will be able to read it. So when you're shutting down the machine, it encrypts everything, and the KMS key is contacted. Hey, where's the encryption key? So then it is grabbed from here, and the whole data is encrypted again. So that's what encryption, decryption, and KMS is. If I go for default here, default AWS EBS, KMS key description, default key that protects my EBS volumes when no other key is defined. KMS key owner is this. So KMS key ID. So they're saying that, hey, this is our key storage area or key management services. So it will keep your encryption decryption key. So we're saying, okay, create your, but you can create your own KMS, but you need to then pay for that. Certain cents. Whenever I say pay for that, it's not like thousands of dollars, it's certain cents per hour. Okay, so if I keep going down, I'm creating another volume, right? We add it to the EC2 instance. Volumes that are created from encrypted snapshots are automatically encrypted using the same key as a snapshot or using a different key if you specify. Volumes that are created from unencrypted snapshots are automatically encrypted. So the thing is, when you create a volume from a snapshot, so that is still an upcoming topic. I'm gonna um, do that lab later, where how to create a volume from a snapshot. Snapshot is a snapshot. It's a backup, point in time backup. It's a backup of another disk. So from the backup of another disk, do you want to create yet another disk or a volume with all the data inside? So that's what it's saying. We will do that lab later. But right now, I just want to show that how to create a new volume. And if it's in another availability zone, does it connect? And how to encrypt it. Okay. And then tags. Yeah, if you want to create the tags, I'm just going to click the create volume. But what I did was, what I was not supposed to do is it's creating, but it's in 1B now. And my machine is in 1A. But I want to attach it to my machine. Okay, first it is creating. It is able to see the machine. Obviously, it will be able to get attached to the machine as well. If it doesn't, it's not able to see the machine, then yeah, there's a problem on that. See, it's still creating. Oh, I think I have to refresh this. It's available. Not in use, but it is available. What? The volume, the disk. It's not attached to the virtual machine as well. If I select this volume now, what can I do with it? And if I go to actions for this newly created volume, so create a snapshot of this, create a snapshot of this, attach volume. Okay, I want to attach this volume to my virtual machine that is already powered on. We needed to test that too. That can we attach a volume? Yep.
I think you created a file and
Oops, sorry, your voice was not clear.
I think you created a 500 gig storage.
I created a final storage?
500, yeah.
Oh man, 500. Which, thank you for noticing that. Did I not put 8 GB? What happened there? I think I went away and then created again, and this time I didn't forgot to put 8 GB, I guess. Oh yeah, when I was changing that GP2 to standard, first I selected GP2 and then put 8 GB. I changed it to standard or HDD, then I forgot to change the size at that time. Okay, thanks for noticing that. I'll try to still attach that and let's see what kind of error comes. Attach volume. It says which instance you want to attach, and it's saying availability zone is 1B. I know that in 1B I don't have any instance. I have it only in 1A, right? So from 1B, can I see an instance in 1A? Well, I don't think so. No matching, running, or stopped instances in US East 1B. So that proves that if you create an instance in one A availability zone, but you create its volume in one B availability zone, so you cannot attach that one B volume instance in one A. You have to create that volume in one A as well, attach to instance in one A, right? So this is something I wanted to prove here. I can't see one A device icon. If I had created that virtual machine in one B, I could have seen this. I didn't create any instance in one B. I'm just gonna cancel, and then I'm gonna have to delete this volume. See, for now, I don't have any instance in one B. So at that point proven, I don't need this volume, but I'm gonna create another volume which will be in 1A, and then it should see that instance in 1A and should get attached to that instance in 1A. So select that and go to actions and delete volume and delete. I need to create another volume in 1A this time. Right, so create volume. Yeah, GB2 is okay. 8 GB, GB2, Scooby-Doo, GB2. So here, now I'm going to stick to 1A. But remember that when you're creating a virtual machine, you could have put it on any availability zone because they're all the same. But just for organization purpose, they're all the same. Why don't you just then stay organized and go for 1A, right? You would know in your mind that, yes, normally I create resources in 1A. But then when you're creating an attaching resource, you would know that, yes, it should be in 1A as well. Okay. So I'm just creating now in 1A. Don't create volume from a snapshot. I don't have a snapshot of any volume. What I can do now is when I create this new volume or new disk, I'm going to take its snapshot just to show. Take a snapshot. Go further down. I'm going to select encrypt this volume, and then I'm going to say that, hey, your KMS, hey AWS, your key management services, I'm going to use your key management services to store my encryption and decryption keys for this volume that I'm about to encrypt. So thank you AWS for providing me a KMS or key management services service. If I go further down here, tags, yeah, I'm going to click create volume. This time it is in 1A. Right? And it's 8 GB, it is still 3A and ting. Ready. Okay, so I'll refresh that. It's available now. Before I try to attach it to the EC2 instance, there are other services that we can do. There are other things we can do. So I'm just going to create a snapshot of this. Suppose I have added some data. There was some data added after attaching it to the machine. There was some data added as well. I'm going to take a snapshot of this particular volume. So I'm going to click create snapshot, and it's just a snapshot of volume or second volume for armor-VM01, right? Or whatever name you want to give, right? So snapshot is just kind of a backup, point in time backup. The current state, whatever is the state of this volume right now. Suppose you have 3 GB data inside. Suppose you have 5 KB data inside. A small amount, right? Whatever is the state, it's going to just take a point in time backup of that. So I'm just taking a snapshot of this volume. So suppose this volume had 10 GB data, I took a snapshot, or that someone deleted that data, 5 GB of that data from 10 GB. So you can just reinstore the snapshot where it was GB data. Anyway, the snapshot has been taken as well. And if I go down here, this is a Elastic Block Store where the volume was created. Below this is the snapshot. So if I click the snapshots, now snapshot console shows that it has taken a snapshot of that volume, right? I'm going to go up to the volumes again because I want to, according to the lab, according to this. So I already have an operating system volume here attached to this EC2 instance, but I want to attach another one. So this is 100 GB. I think, oh, that was not 100 GB, 30 GB. It was 30 GB. This is 8. Let's see if it gets connected while it is powered on, or do I have to power it off to attach the second disk? So I'm going to go back here and select that volume and go to attach volume. Now I'm expecting that the instance should be showing because I'm in the same availability zone as the instance and the volume. Attach, fetching instance types, 1A, it pretty much shows that. Did it show it? Yes, it shows my instance in that availability zone. I'm going to click that. Yeah, there you go. It says only instances in the same availability zone as the selected volume are displayed. Device name, it is giving recommended device names for Windows /dev/SDA1 for root volume, XVD up to from F to P for data volume. So XVDF, that's the first name because it says that if it's a XVD, it starts with XVD. Name of the volume, this means it's a data volume. And first data disk would be starting from F, then XVDP would be the second disk. Suppose you add another volume, then it goes on FP URSD, right? So anyway, I'm so yes, this is a data disk and it starts with XVDF, which is okay. And I'm going to go for attach volume. Remember that the EC2 instance is powered on. So yeah, no error, which means it worked. If I go up to the instance, now I need to confirm that is the second network card showing inside the Windows operating system, and I need to confirm if the second disk is also showing in the virtual machine. So two things I need to confirm here. If I go to the diagram even, so I need to confirm if the second network card is showing inside the Windows 22 and second disk is showing inside Windows 22. Did the operating system detect that or not? So I'm just going to go back here. I need to connect to this virtual machine again after shutdown. Will the same password work? So I'm going to just click connect again, and I'm going to go to the RDP. Well, oh seriously, it actually says, "Hey, get password." So isn't it the same password because I saved it here? Right? This one. Is it the same password that's going to work? I also have the remote desktop file already downloaded. I need to not download it again here, and I'm going to go to the downloads area. Yes, this is the remote desktop file. Connect. I'm going to test first the password that I already have. Is it going to work? Really? It's this DNS name that I'm connecting to. Hey, is my machine even started? Come on here. Let's kind of investigate. If you've joined your instance to our directory, you can use your directory credentials to connect to your instance. You can connect to your Windows instance using a remote desktop client for your choice by downloading and running. Yeah. But I downloaded already that file, DNS name, right? RDP. Why that older one I cannot use now? So if I go back here, cancel, and I select this. So the DNS name, oh my God, before DNS, oh, there's no DNS. This is a machine name. Once I shut down, it is not allowing that particular RDP to be used to connect the virtual machine. So I then have to click connect again, go to RDP again. I have to download another one, which is kind of strange. This is the one. If I click that folder where it was downloaded, so this is the one. If I double click that, now it shows that it's ready to connect. If I cancel that and go for the previous one, There's no issue. That's what I was thinking. Why would there be an issue with the previous one? It's okay now. At that particular time, something happened. I don't know. My internet was not good. All those previous ones are also working fine. Okay, so whichever one I click, it's the same, pretty much same thing. It's connecting to this address. This address. Connect. The second thing is, do I need to get the password again? Did it shut down? Did it change the password? Not. What's going on? My machine is not started. It's running. Really? I think I have to stick to the new one, RDP that I just downloaded, and check it. Okay, connect. 254, 147, 242. I connected another network card.
That's what I was thinking as well. I think it's got something to do with the second network card's public IP and also the DNS resolution.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that would be the case. Okay. If we go back here and cancel and check this out. So networking. Networking details. If I go there, private IP address is this networking details. If I go for the first NIC, oh yeah, I did notice that before as well that public IP is gone from the first one as well. So this is the first NIC, and does it have a public IP? Private IP, but public IP is gone. It has a second network card. The public IP from the first network card is gone, which I need to attach again. That's not good. Okay, so there's some option that I clicked, I guess, that really affected. So I'm on the first network card, and I need a public IP. So first NIC, description, security groups, availability. If I go down, private IP is there, public IP is no longer there. Okay, not good. I'm gonna grab a public IP. How do I grab that? So the first network card, I've already selected it, right? I'm gonna go to actions, manage IP addresses. There you go. Associate address. There's other thing. Yeah, nothing else. Okay, manage IP addresses. So what happened? Oh, secondary private IPv4 address. No. And to assign additional public IPv4 addresses to this network card interface, you must allocate elastic IP addresses and associate them with this network interface. Okay. I don't need another private IP address. I need a public IP address. In fact, I want to grab the one that I had already because it was removed. I added the second network card, which does not happen. I've been adding that before as well, but I must have chosen some option just to show something, and it disturbed the first network card as well. So where is Elastic IP? I need to go separately and check this out. There is Elastic IP here. Network security, there's Elastic IP. If I go there, I don't have that. Elastic IP is flexible. It can be connected to any network card. So I need to allocate Elastic IP. US East 1, yes, I'm there. On pool of IPv4 addresses, yes. I don't need a global static IP address. Or no, I don't need an accelerator. Suppose you have thousands of users connecting, so it can remove the latency from there and let them connect. So right now, no tags and no. Yeah, it's the default configuration. What I'm expecting is it should give me a public IP now. That I need to allocate to associate to a network address. Now before because this is gonna charge, they're gonna charge me for that. I mean, in a production environment, they were gonna charge me. What happened to my other IP address? I'm just gonna quickly check one more thing here. More than I'm gonna come back here. I just need instance. And networking. Where's the public? So I need to go to this network card, 1C3B2, which is network security, network interface. Here, 1C3B2. Okay, first network card, select. There was an option called associate address. If I click the associate address, see, so it's saying you need to get an elastic IP and then come here and associate that. Serious. Okay. So what I was doing, I should do that. I'm gonna go down here again and purchase an elastic IP because I lost my previous public IP. Maybe I was selecting some option that I was not supposed to select. I'm gonna now request AWS, hey AWS, how about one public IP? Thank you very much. And it says, okay, one public IP coming up. Nothing else seems to be needed here. So I'm just gonna click locate to my subscription a public IP. Okay, there you go. There's a public IP now. Public IP, right? It is accessible from internet. Once I get that, I'm gonna go back to the network card, interfaces, and first NIC, and I'm going to actions, and then I'm going to associate address, and okay. So I'll just check that if the network IP. Yep, now there is the public IP here. I use a private IP. It was asking, so I'll just go for okay. Although I think the private IP was already there. Still, it's gonna assign it. Although I don't think we need the private IP to be assigned. It was already showing there. Anyway, allow reassociation. Allow the elastic IP address to be reassociated with this network interface. So suppose this interface for some reason is shut down. For some reason we remove the IP from there. So next time when we try to put this public IP again to this network interface card, allow that next time as well. Suppose we disassociate. Once we disassociate, it may not be connected back to the same network card. So we're saying no, please let me connect later as well with the same IP, same network card. I'm gonna click associate now, and first make it is attached, and no error so far. I'm just gonna go up to the instances and refresh the instance. Click. Yes, we have been assigned a public IP, elastic IP address here, public IP, and the public DNS as well. So the last DNS is obviously different now because our public IP changed, so our DNS address would be changed as well. Now it should work because remember it's starting with 18.2.14. Connect IP, yeah, 18.2.14, download. When I go there, the previous IP was something 152 or something, or I copied it here. Yeah, it was starting with 52, the last IP, so it was gone. So I just downloaded that one. Now it should connect because I have a public IP. Yep. And okay, the next thing, do I need to get the password again, or will it accept my previous password revealed? So Control C. Okay, copy. Yeah, you're saying?
No, it's accepting the same password.
Okay, there you go. Okay, that's one thing. It accepted the same password. If I minimize this and reveal it again, because it's covered again, right? If I reveal it again and go to that file again, there's the file in the downloads folder. Double click that and decrypt. Is it exactly the same, or I just changed it now? Yes, it is 45NJO%, 45NJO% VL1. So, or capital I. It's exactly the same password. It never changed. Even when we go away from the screen, it's gonna just hide it. It's the same password. So we put some, assumed some tests, and then we tried to check it out that it should work this way or that way. So I still needed to connect for one thing, two things. Where is the second disk? So if I click here, obviously it's not going to show me the second disk now because I need to format that disk if it is there. I need to go to disk management. I'm gonna left click here, go to server manager. I could just write here disk management. It should appear here as well, but I'm just going to server manager. Open the disk management to format the disk. If the disk detected, we will format it, and then there will be a second disk appearing here. So tools and computer management. Here the computer management is disk management. And well, okay, there we go. Management is here. And yeah, so the second disk is detected. That's good. I need to make it online. It is offline right now. So right click, there's online. If I click that online, it will be online. Then initialize. I need to initialize so I could partition it. So there's a right click, initialize disk is there. Yes, it's saying MBR partition or GPT. MBR supports up to 2 terabyte partition. GPT supports up to 64 terabyte partition. Right now, lab, it's the lab, so whatever partition is there is okay. I'm going to press OK here. And then I'm going to simply format it to be usable to put data on top of it. So I'm just going to right click on top of it, new simple volume. Next. So next, yes, full 8 GB I want to use. Next, yes, give it the D drive, next available drive header. Next, yeah, it's the data disk. I can just manually name it data. Next, and finish, right? It's formatted, it's available as the second disk. I'm going to go to the file explorer or the yellow folder, and now I have the second disk available, which we added while the EC2 instance was powered on, right? So it's hot add enabled. So yes, you can add it while the machine is running. Second thing is, do we have two network adapters? I'm just going to close this. If I go to local server here, yep, we have two network, Ethernet 2, Ethernet 3. So we have two network adapters here. If I click this, it's going to take me to the adapters area. So we have two network cards as well. That's good. But network cards, you need to add after machine is shut down. Hard disk you can add while machine is up. Second thing, both network card and hard disk has to be on the same availability zone where the virtual machine is. Otherwise, you won't be able to connect it. Right. Third thing is adding a second network card. So when you're doing the exercise yourself, try to check that why it took away the public IP. The first when I was adding the second network card. Normally it does not do that unless I've chosen some option there. ONK. So this is regarding the virtual machine and what we have done here is create the EC2. There are so many other features here that we're going to be exploring, but what we explore today, EC2 instance. So created the instance, discussed all the features of an instance creation process. Attached, okay, created and attached, right? So created and attached, second NIC and second volume, and tested it. So we will be exploring all other features of EC2 instance in next class. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know. Please repeat all the labs. I'll try to create after the class or tomorrow the earlier part of this where I had gone through the features of EC2 instance. Then I will attach that second video to this first video and upload the whole thing. So yeah, if there are any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a nice weekend and see you on Tuesday evening, 1 o'clock.
Now we should be deleting all the instances.
Yes, delete. Did you say delete, right?
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much, Vijay. You saved me. Oh,
But you have to save me, like, that's why I'm just asking. Like, even I followed you, everything.
Okay.
Have all that.
Oh, okay, thank you. So here, guys, let's delete everything. Let's terminate everything. Otherwise, yeah, that's gonna be charged after 750 hours though. So once we select that instance, it is powered on, right? I'm gonna go to actions, and then, it's in the instance state, not actions, instance state. It's not showing terminate. Terminate protection is enabled. Terminate protection is enabled. That's why. See, so we enabled this so I could show you that how to first remove the termination protection and then terminate the machine. So where is termination protection? Yes, that is in actions. I go to instance settings and change termination protection. I need to turn off the protection so I could terminate the machine. Change termination protection is enabled. I'm gonna uncheck it. The instance is no longer protected against accidental termination. Yeah. So just be careful about this. Turning it off is not a good idea in a production environment. In companies, I'm gonna click save here. Now I should be able to terminate it. So I'm gonna refresh here. Just refresh. Select that machine, go to instance state. There you go. Now terminate instance is available. So I'm going to click terminate. So it's going to shut down this machine. It's going to terminate this machine, and it should terminate the volume and the network interface cards as well, the volumes and the network. So we're going to double check that too. Terminate instance. Yep, it says on EBS packed instance, the default action is for the root EBS volume to be deleted when the instance is terminated. Yes, I want the root EBS or the disk which has operating system terminated, so it's good. Storage on any local drives will be lost. Yeah, it's okay. Associated resources may incur costs after these instances are terminated. It's saying that, hey, you still have elastic IP, so it's going to incur cost if you don't want to delete it. But we want to delete it. It seems like deleting the virtual machine will not delete this elastic IP. It says to dissociate and release elastic IPs associated with this instance, go to elastic IPs. The following elastic IPs are still associated with your account. Delete EBS volume to confirm. Now, guys, it says disassociate the elastic IP from the EC2 instance. Now, suppose I delete this machine. Obviously, it's gonna be disassociated from there already, right? Assuming that. Obviously, what else can I do when it's deleted? So either it will not let the machine delete, or then we can separately just delete the elastic IP after machine is deleted. So I'm gonna go for terminate to check it out. That does it just simply let me delete the machine without disassociating the elastic IP? Or not. I'm gonna click terminate. Shutting down. It is shutting down the machine. And then, yes, I'm disconnected from the machine because it's shut down, so it's okay. And then, well, I'm going to refresh. It does take a little time for the machine to get fully deleted. So yeah, refresh. When it says it gives a message. That message means we're good. Like we can leave it as is. Now it's shutting down, so we have to keep an eye on it. It should delete the related components that we added, extra components. Oh, terminated. Okay, we're good now. Yay. Now let's check. So it says terminated. It still shows here. It's gonna show here for some time. It's terminated. It's not costing us now. That's what terminated means. Second thing, I need to go down here and check volumes. Refresh. Really. Oh, that's the second volume that I forgot to click terminate with the instance, right? That's why I didn't get terminated. So I'm just going to select that, the volumes, go to actions, and delete volume. So guys, you have to check every area where any component may have been created for the virtual machine. So I'm going to go down to network interfaces first. Both are gone. Good. But elastic IPs, that's what we need to do ourselves manually. Whoa, what is this? I can't. Okay. Disassociate, elastic. Okay, I'm gonna go for disassociate because it doesn't give me the option to delete, right? Either associate or disassociate. If I go disassociate, you disassociate this elastic IP address, you can reassociate it with a different resource. The elastic IP address remains allocated to your account. If you disassociate, you can have one elastic EIP address associated with a running instance at no charge. Okay, so it's not gonna charge us. If you associate additional EIPs with that instance, you will be charged for each. We don't have instance, we deleted it, right? And additional EIPs, we don't have additional. Additional EIPs are only available in Amazon VPC. To ensure efficient use of elastic IP addresses, we impose a small only charge when these IP addresses are not associated with a running instance or when they are associated with a start instance. And so one IP would not be charged. Okay. David says, got this error, failed to terminate an instance. The instance may not be terminated. Modify this disable API stop instance attribute and try again. Oh, did give some kind of URL to follow up. Disable API stop. That's not, I didn't get that. Strange. I'm going to give disassociate here while elastic IP address, it does not exist. It says it is gone. All right. Fresh. Yeah, the elastic IP address, this association ID, blah blah blah, does not exist. Okay, so association, it cannot disassociate because there is no association available. So it says that we cannot release elastic IP address. I'm going to go for release. So David, will be connecting to you now. So I'm just going to release this. Oh, release is a delete for elastic IP address. So now it's gone. Just click the release and it's going to be gone. Security groups, if you go there are two security groups created as well. Are you kidding me? They don't charge, I know that. Guys, one more thing, do not touch default. Do not ever touch default VPC. Anything written default only, don't touch it at all. I'm going to go for security group and select this and delete that too, although it does not really cost us, but security groups. Guys, do not click default. Do not click default. Only the one that we created by our name. Default will put us into trouble. Okay, gone. Default must stay. Default must stay. David, you can share your screen and we can troubleshoot or all snapshots. Seriously? Okay, guys. We created a snapshot as well. So leave the snapshot as well. Delete snapshot. There you go. Delete. Key pairs. It keeps on going. Key pair is still there. Security group, elastic IP, key pairs, network interface, right? So key pairs, select. It's not going to cost us, but we're just cleaning up. There's nothing default written here, so we're good. That's why and it says write delete there. Delete. Right, or delete here, and it's gone now. Security groups, elastic IPs, key pairs, interfaces, all four had something there. Snapshots gone, volumes gone. Instance terminated is good enough. It's not gonna go away slowly, but it's not charging us. From our side, it's gone. No more billing here. Okay, so David, you can share a screen if you want. Then we can troubleshoot if you were having still that issue. Disable API stop instance attribute and try again. As we are able to see your screen. Fail to terminate instance. The instance may not be terminated. Modify its disable API stop instance attribute and try again. What? Disable API stop. That's one of those options in the in the advanced options. One of those options in the advanced options had this. So you can go to actions on the top, right? And yeah, manage instance settings. If you go to there's terminate there, and okay, try it. But it's saying EBS volumes. Yeah, it's okay. Terminate. Oh, yeah, on an ABS volume, the default action is for the ABS volume to be deleted when the no, it's not letting you terminate. You tried that again as well. So let's go there and click that. Are you able to click that error? All right. Okay. So let's go to that instance. So go back to the instance console, because I was gonna say go to actions. So first select the instance and then go to actions. Instance settings and store production, shutdown behavior, recovery behavior, instance credit specification, resource based, naming options, modify instance placement, edit user data, allow tags, manage tags, EPA stop. So yeah, go for change stop protection. So okay, with that and then termination protection.
Okay, I think I've done this. Yeah, I've enabled.
Yeah, it is already disabled. Okay.
Let me check.
That was one of the advanced options for which the error was coming.
Okay.
Oh, stop.
This one. What is this stop?
There you go. Okay, I think we're good now. Yeah. Oh, select. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, it's just one option.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Okay, guys, so
Okay.
have a nice weekend.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Bye. Stop recording.